Mr. Lynch, life's only been life forever. Good morning, Mr. Simply, Mr. Simply, or 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 simply that. It's February 2nd, or 2026, and it's a Tuesday in Naples. We are totally clear, yes, once again, totally clear connection in general. And also, there's also a wind Golden Divi, considering the video match in general Golden Divi, at the same time, non so se mi sareste now, or viceversa. It's early afternoon, 13 and 14 minutes. 55 for Fahrenheit, 13 Celsius, and it means it's really cool, like easy. We have qualsiasi gadget it is used for the interperiod, so supports for SEO, bisogna cosa. Consider the fact that c'è 4 years, non essere usato di non so che video per campo di SEO. Motivare forza, as last past summer, as perhaps don't know if they follow or remember if you followed me during last past summer, I think body. Also fact to overcome for years, so the card autumn now also for the winter come on to previous as December 21 in particular 16 and 4 PM in Italy, as perhaps don't know remember I think body was on body with Chinese suppose indeed. I'm sure, to I see the things for him, so at the same time it's my purpose, in fact, the ocean to join it's better non per sparare così tutto for me, and then do si intera la riesce su fuori spring esame new to fact the spring so si esce soft for esame legge ti 8 folli o tu anzi che ne esce soft sono tante in generale decision pizza casi cagite a sigare in inglese triste me o something così in future da assolutamente un complimento no considerate su winter it's cold so si svio not the contrary we complain should complain but when I see sense absolutely can complain I'm referring with referred to me in particular perhaps live this period or in this period for or in this period perfect don't feel cool but I feel cool less than other people thanks to say of practice perché better to practice I follow and do since some years until which I was started for the cold and when will come the winter period the winter weather report period and when will come the winter period the winter weather reports period I always write a comment which I can explain what is practice. This is wrote it in 2 weeks ago in the first part of first comment with an asterisk. So if someone is interested, this is the first part of first comment with this asterisk to know what is practice. I don't know if it's for people. Right, I think or not. In fact, I feel cool. Right, I think yes or no. This event, right, I think that in the 1% I feel cool. Or in general, in some way for me also good. Instead, the math status in general, I see for sure as everything just for it's really beautiful. Artistic seems. In fact, I feel as a muffin consider. L'ingredient di afternoon, finché the temperature was easy, but just before 4 Fahrenheit 13 Celsius. But the important thing is the atmosphere that you read. Just before today we have, it's beautiful. Luska in questa scena nostro Niero e Medes now and yes because they are still behind the palace many some in general scena in particolare now I'll see the things related del chiamato particolare scena the first thing is the fact that now thing for an extract better refrain from a classical Napoleon song sulla mio because I think it's speaking me a bit of a man lungo questa passame se la persona non remember if you follow me lungo questa passame I think body so mana tu sola, più bello di io solo mia, San fronte a te io sola, ho solo mia, San fronte a te, mi si San fronte a me, San fronte a te. E si fa che busca se non si sono realmente, si continui, infatti ci sta c'è chiamato adesso, Nottonia Beautiful. Beautiful indeed, a sublime session nel senso di tante things perché se la persona si pensa che è impossibile a beautiful di Knisa. Ma tu che siete, di session so che siete, allora io till now non si tiene sanno scappa non si tiene video ci gioca verso molti cose no ma se di ottobre ora before fact ti arridi io arridi abbiamo detto fra noi le vediamo sanno scappa forada yes 3 hours and 45 minutes maximum more or less in comparison with Memphis you know a completely different time well so all'inizio non mi dico quindi non è cortino in frase non mi frase mix pensi in un cortino senza sta guarda magari ti torno con solo burfi di breve su particolare da parte di sì stato di pen di breve cortino was only for we don't know as he would was a beautiful grey cortino beautiful pente poi bench stato di pen le passo from adesso il cortino il thing di mette si ride si mi sembra come se come se che ci capito poi intendere first comment perhaps first comment ora one of them adesso I don't know if you can see or notice really well if it's shot in your enemy finally to think yes see the green flowers longer flowers mixed twin plants or if not even better surely better mi sa shot pratica se first part of video which Perugia shot you do it scatter skin Japanese classical medical windows classical medical room so as perhaps non the resource the other medical window the other medical room oh for broader perspective also realizzate praticamente da shot similar to classical shot film on the entire go for the press curtain pretty beautiful grey curtain beautiful painted benches and perhaps also for the first curtain illustrato with the parts color curtain infantry remember exactly surely the color curtain still in cover major channel when there's no time should legit various was saying this shot so sorely rated to the effect that of when reason the only shoot and also when reason but more when there is because if case measure that's here a little speech or sentence so saying is used for the press curtain bit beautiful curtain beautiful pentapens la persona si chiede for the first curtain so si chiede entro exactly and also is now see read for me so curtain sorry but repeated expression so is for forfeit times or yes this and is little speech or sentence it is but also always better visible for me in its entirety in this shot at si fancy mythical legendary shot. Regarding the issue during television mistake not television is first days or last October, but it's important to report that also days not television and also read it special sentence for the continuous for it because it's so valid also for it so I repeat once again but also always better visible for me in its entirety in this shot at si ponti mythic or legendary shot. And finally, from a medical keyboard Ajax, come for PG, PG, 625, also 600 shot. Vai, great people, facciamo le parti, essere greeting to area, solo come sistema. So myself, passo biscuits, and finally I hope you get breakfast. Dates, late in general, also massive, come I say late in massive, some repeating, it's not time, it's last December 31, to catch a fact for the first time. It's late in general, and also, and all for the record, but not at all for me, because for me, it's kind of normality, make breakfast for me at 6 hours, it's late, more non yes. But all important is att färg 100 euro är så blir det 3000 för att bäcka finten är symbiotet så det finten med blink milk att finten in parte med det tror jag så det finka tre cose si regole sembra tutti su stracciable vai to repeat close the regole le tools from us se mi danno more than yes era just solo le ho just in 13-14 minutes. Basta, l'importante è che si riembra si attenzione muy also day forte non tutto so, non meglio angry. That's we always say. Breakfast sono most busy as for. Absolutely. And as you know, since most money at this point more than 1 year. Solo consisting like effect except for reason Friday, but this should be the video guys except for reason Friday, but perhaps also new reason for the moment but see the X for reason it was the fifth the necessary with reports beautiful red black no so what and selective the modern comparison in previous all things that perhaps you know we follow me in Fridays with report I think body but this should be done here but I promise you it 1 day or 1 time so anytime check what is better president or danger state using these things or make this speech for example shots obviously need to joke you so look most money ma senza emozioni for example biscuits are my favorite fact that I mean beautiful combos beautiful biscuits and yes I think at one investment the best are types of chocolate chip cookies or the cookies chip chocolate chips and if I not see what favorite biscuits mixed but in particolare, I think that I really would say red and easy for someone about the milk of a shot and get coffee with total quick chocolate, if I could do this for the bees, I shot in Felest, I think 7-8 months, as so say I was schoolish with the beers and I check it is better. Someone is quick, see finish it down, this once I think 289, no, 9-10, this is so also school, in fact, should be sent in time the beers and I check it is better way. And since that moment, about 10-38 once again, milk so very good news. And this also the fact that Nico's breakfast was bombs has been in particolare me abbiamo sì che last period c'è gioco cosa insomma cosa mi ma talking about Mosomania so of course me think the first time that period and when you fit someone else say toll ne cosa breakfast so questa mega bomba se conti che si può sia fact in federal sia stare con di ragazzi ragazzi mi sa sempre questa position perhaps so cosa con di payment face position cioè non siamo più position because after this piece of position for me the dark Italian palm dark chocolate chip cereals fa così e tu recommend you because they are really super bar. ما suppose van traffic non tutto maro tutto quello ma well sì a bit of an if Tunisia sono generation particolare nassi things about repeat things as I said before for last time in fact sure se scelta come to be su mesa scena in sense fact it's impossible on a beautiful day like it is not to visit so che sit once again